Have you ever thought about the truly funny stories that are in the Bible, like beyond miracles and wisdom and all the things we usually go there for? The Bible contains some really weird Bible stories and moments that are just, I don't know, ridiculous. Can I say that? Anyway, today we're counting down 7 of the most surprising Bible moments you probably didn't learn in Sunday school. From talking snakes to smash commandments, these stories reveal the very human side of the Bible. It all starts in Eden. Eve has this full-on conversation with a talking snake, and she doesn't think to say, wait, why is this reptile talking? And why is it giving me advice? And should I actually really listen to a snake? And then Adam joins in and he eats the fruit. And then when God calls him out, he says, well, the woman you put here with me, she gave me the fruit. In other words, it's Eve's fault. And of course, ultimately your fault, God. An angry mob surrounds Lot's house and wants to have their way with his guests, who are actually angels. And Lot decides that the best course of action is, well, let me just quote him, "Please don't do this evil. Take my daughters instead." What? God has just freed Israel from slavery from Egypt, along with all the miracles leading up to it. He parted the Red Sea. He's been feeding them miracles of bread. And no one ever talks about it, but fresh quail ran into their camp every night so they could eat them. And how do they respond? They're like, but we missed the fish and the cucumbers and the melons and leeks and the garlic in Egypt. In other words, we forgot how bad slavery was. Moses goes up on Mount Sinai with God, and he spends 40 days with God himself. And he comes back down, he's holding these big stone tablets that were written by the finger of God. And he finds that Israel just couldn't wait for him while he's gone. So they're throwing this big old rage, like a big golden calf party. And he gets upset, so he smashes the tablets that God just gave him, like the most valuable artifact in all of history, because he got a little mad. Moses then demands an explanation for the golden calf. And he says, Aaron, what the heck? And Aaron's like, well, but they gave me their gold and I just threw it in the fire and out came this calf. Sure, Aaron, totally believable, because everyone knows that molten gold just spontaneously shapes itself into an idol meticulously carved in the shape of a calf. After preaching to Nineveh, Jonah, who was spit out by the whale, watches the whole city repent, which you would think is a good thing, right? No, he is so mad at God because God forgave the city and he doesn't really like them that he sits down under a plant and he pouts. And then the plant dies, the one that was giving him shade, and he gets so angry that he yells and he's like, I just want to die. Really? Then he tells God, really, I knew you were gracious and compassionate and good, so that's why I ran away. It's the Last Supper. Jesus is hours from being arrested and crucified, and he's washing the disciples' feet, and he's telling them the end is near, and he's explaining the bread and the wine. And how did the disciples respond? You know what? They start arguing about which of them is most important. They're jockeying for positions of power in his upcoming kingdom. Did they really hear nothing he just said? Really? These stories are funny, or I suppose sad, whichever way you want to look at it, and they're just ridiculous. But the stories should also be encouraging. The Bible doesn't hide people's flaws. It shows us that God not only loves, but he also works through messy, flawed, ridiculous humans. And I suppose if he can use these crazy, messed up human beings, then I believe he can use us as well. So which of these guys can you relate to? Drop it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with your friends. We really appreciate your support.